Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fulton Street Beats. This was a video that kind of, well, went astray a little bit. This was meant to be an unboxing. However, as I was unboxing this, I realized that my cameras were not rolling right. So we're going to take it from the top, and hopefully you'll bear with me and bear the fact that I called this an unboxing. That's not really an unboxing. I apologize. Anyhow, what we have in front of me is the guitar we've been waiting for. The unbranded James Hetfield Iron Cross style guitar. So let's show that to you right now. Boom, unboxed. There we go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, I think, in the grand scheme of things. It's a good looking guitar. Of course, now that I've had the chance to go over this guitar for 45 minutes while I pretended to unbox it, I guess, or did unbox it and pretend the camera was rolling, I've discovered some things about this guitar that's both good and maybe a couple bad things too, but really pretty pleasant. So let's check it out. Let's get rid of this thing. This is for appearances because that's what it came with, and I just wanted to show that to you. So this is it says Iron Cross on the truss rod cover. It is a matte black finish, and of course we have the famous racing stripe on here. And man, these guitars are different from regular Les Pauls for sure, because the top on these goes in and down and back up. That's right. It just doesn't arch over. It's a dip. It's pretty cool. And then it has the belly cut on the back. And yes, I don't want to see the back yet, but I got the covers off. They're in front of this because, well, that's what I did. But let me grab some notes here real quick that I took. Poof, I'm back. Okay, so here we go. Check this out. So an original version of this guitar, the real one, the real ESP version with the EMGs and what have you, mahogany body, be a mahogany neck, and set up in this fashion, color, what have you, would run from, according to my research, and of course times change, but the original could run from anywhere from $6,899 all the way up to $10,000. So what are they running now? I don't know. I didn't go that far into it, but it's to give us an idea of price point. I mean, it's a Chinese guitar, let's face it, right? So what kind of quality are we getting for the $279 from eBay, okay? And guys, keep in mind, once again, I ordered this guitar as an unbranded guitar. Not that I care, because I really don't, but I ordered it as an unbranded, said unbranded. It didn't show the headstock. So, and you can see we have the famous LS Custom Shop decal over what's probably a logo underneath that we'll reveal at the end, so stick around. But we're going to go over some features of this guitar and how well does it match up to an original James Hetfield Iron Cross ESP. You might be surprised. First of all, it's the scale length. I want to check the scale length. The original guitar is 24.75 inches in scale length. And lo and behold, this guitar from the edge of the nut to the center of the bridge is 24.75 right on the nose, which means everything should theoretically intonate correctly. Pretty cool to know. Hardware on this is gold, and it's very well plated, very well done on this end. We'll get to the other end in a second. There's no Epiphone labeling underneath these or anything like that we've seen on some other Chibson guitars. It doesn't have that. If I'm looking at these saddles, they're not in a neutral position, so they appear to have been intonated, although we can't tell for sure until we check it. I haven't tuned it up. I haven't done anything with it yet. Fretboard on this. So mahogany body, mahogany neck is what they claim. 12-inch radius fretboard. That is correct, but we're going to get to the neck here in a second because this is something pretty cool on this guitar anyhow. We do have an exact on the nose. The original would be a 42 millimeter nut. This one is 42 millimeters right on the nose also. Right, I mean right on. Oops, just moved one on me when I moved it. But 42 right on the nose. So we have a 42 millimeter nut. The nut on this is cut very nicely. So take it with a grain of salt what I'm saying about the nut. Sometimes it's hard to tell. This particular one is kind of hard for me to tell exactly what it is, but we're going to call it plastic nut or nylon nut for all intents and purposes, okay? That way there's no surprises later on. The neck. The original one would have a thin U-shaped neck. And I will tell you that this has, looking down it, you have a very thin U-shaped neck. That's right, they got the neck corrected. As a matter of fact, when I grab this compared to my other guitars, my hands are completely bringing my hand halfway again around this fretboard down here by the 1st fret, and still bringing it around way up here by the 12th, and lots of room to spare, which means it's going to be an easy guitar to play. I've never experienced a U-shaped neck before, but this thing feels really good. The finish on this makes the neck really fast too. It feels faster than an unfinished neck. It's weird the way the mat is on this guitar. So that's pretty cool also. Little hidden things that I didn't know I would like, or, you know, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get into it later on and go, no, I don't like it. Fretboard. They say it's an ebony fretboard. Now, if it's an ebony fretboard, it's a lighter ebony fretboard, and I haven't cleaned it. I haven't cleaned the frets. I haven't did anything on this yet. So, yeah, it could be an ebony fretboard. I've seen light ebony, and just as well as I've seen dark rosewood that looked ebony. So you can't always tell that. So we're just going to say, okay, fine. We'll call it. It's very dark. It's dark. It's not as dark as the Ace Frehley or any of these, which are probably not real ebony, but it's simulated. Where this might actually be, judging by the grain, an actual ebony. So pretty cool, right? Okay. Not saying it is, but it could be. It looks good. Frets on this, 0 issues with any fret until you get to, right, the last fret right here on the bass side. Just a little bit of a ridge right there where they didn't hit it just enough with the fret file. As a matter of fact, I could literally take the file, go across it right now, and you'd take it right away. Jumbo frets on this, so that's good. Definitely want the jumbo as per the original. So we're getting a lot of features that the original has. Now, these are labeled EMGs. Of course, they're not EMGs, guys. These are not EMGs. Good way to tell. Well, first off, and they look the part. They look like EMGs. And people say, you know, maybe they could be EMGs. You know, they do. You can get EMGs, real ones, on China-made guitars now. On Chibsons, you can order them with real EMGs. It's crazy. You can get them with real Epiphone Pro Buckers now if you request them. Definitely not real. How do I know? Because I tested the values of this thing. And the bridge pickup, if I remember correctly, don't quote, we're going to be in the range, literally put out 7.89K on the bridge. And it was actually 8 something on the neck, which was higher. Weird. I know. So low output pickups, I haven't heard them yet, but just want to be honest with you, they're not a high output pickup. But fortunately, we have what we're doing with this guitar, the plan is to upgrade this guitar with James Hetfield EMGs, actual EMGs. These are a beautiful looking pickup. We have the whole kit here with beautiful EMG pickups with all the plug and play harness, and the switch. We actually have the actual toggle switch also for it. Pickups, switch, long shaft pots. Now, why long shaft pots? Well, because I didn't know what I was getting into with this guitar for the top, because it wasn't here, and I ordered this about the same time. So if you got enough room for a long shaft pot, it's the way to go, because you can put it in another guitar if you wanted to put it in an actual Les Paul. Usually Gibsons are the only ones that really require long shaft pots, although I have seen some Chibsons that definitely required long shaft pots too, so keep that in mind. So sometimes it's a crapshoot. As long as I had enough space, which I do, because I've looked in the cavity, nice deep pocket, we can adjust them, and we have long shaft pots. Also, we have correct knobs that are going to go on this. We're going to get rid of these speed knobs for these, well, these kind of black bell knobs. Michael, there's only 3. There's only 3 because on James Hetfield guitar, there's only 3. Because on the original guitar, what happens is this switch becomes a dead switch. It doesn't do anything. There's a ground wire that runs to it, and that is it, and it does nothing. I know, weird, right? But the switch that we use gets ran right here. That's right. And then we have a bridge volume here, and then angled across from it would be, and maybe I got this backwards, but I don't think I do. But that's definitely at an angle here. So we'd have our bridge volume, our neck volume, and then our master tone would be here. So this would be a switch, and then these 3, master tone and volumes. And that's how we're going to wire this guitar up. Pretty cool, right? So that's why we only have 3 of the proper knobs that are going to go on this. Now this switch is pretty cool because everything wires right into this switch, and I might have to drill out the hole a touch here, but that's where the switch is going to go. And if we pull this knob off, It's not all marred up in here, which means I can drill it and put the switch where it goes. So we're going to set this up as authentic as we can, but pretty cool, right? So let's dive into the back of this guitar. And we're going to talk about the overall appearance and fit and finish and what have you, in case you guys are wondering. I'm going to leave the seller for you guys. I want you to keep this in mind, as always, because I get so many questions. This is a very important part that you guys need to listen to. So if you're kind of watching and doing something else, please stop what you're doing and listen to this part, because this is very relevant if you plan on purchasing any guitars that I review on this channel. So this particular guitar, I am not an affiliate. I am not endorsing it, nothing. This is just a look at an eBay guitar, just like the AliExpress guitars. These are a look. When I leave links, it's for transparency purposes. So nobody's fooled or duped into where I'm getting them or where they're coming from. And I do my own research, my own due diligence to find the guitars that I think will be decent. So far, they have been, with exception of a couple that were damaged in shipping. But the guitars themselves have all been good. Now, I kind of take pride in that, because there's a lot, when I say a lot of research, guys, I'm up late at night trying to figure out sellers, what's the best one, what I'm going to offer, how high I'm prepared to go, what I'm going to do. A lot of research. So I understand your frustrations and you kind of want that quick pill to make it easy for you. I can't make it easy for you, because what I get, you might not get. You might order the exact same thing from the exact same seller and get a total basket case or even something better. I don't know. I will leave a link to the seller, and if that link disappears in the comment section, or in the description, I should say, if that link disappears, it's because I've taken it down because it no longer works, and that happens a lot with sellers. Their links will no longer work or link you to a whole different guitar or what have you. The last few guitars that I've done have done that. The EVH, the link is now invalid. The store closed for a while to catch up on orders, and I just got an email from them the other day, believe it or not, and that was crazy because I did not expect that at all, but apparently they saw the video and thanked me. So very weird. Now, no, I don't get anything for that. It was just them being nice and courteous. So I gave them a good review. What is the EVH the best guitar in the world? No, and I say EVH, it's a copy, a loose copy, not even close, with no trademark or no trademarks on the headstock, no serial numbers, nothing like that. It was just a straight guitar, totally different than what you'd get from EVH, but an overall, to look at, cool conversation piece, and I set mine up to play really good and upgraded a lot of things on it. But I'm digressing. Now we go on to the other guitar. We go to the Randy Rhoads guitar. A lot of people want to know the Randy. I guess the link's down. That's what I'm talking about. I can't help that. I can't give you that miracle. Go to this seller. I don't want to recommend sellers unless I have an affiliate thing going on with them where they're kind of supporting me and I'm supporting them, but still I'm going to bring you the truth on that. And if something goes bad, I would hope you guys would tell me so we can tell everybody else, because we want the community to be very honest with each other. So like if I get this guitar and it's bad, I want to tell you. If you get one that's bad, tell me, so we can put that information forward to other people who might not or might want to buy one. So keep that in mind. Sorry for that long spiel. It had to be said because it happens in so many videos. Where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? So $279 versus an original that would be $7,000 to $10,000. That's a big difference for a piece of wood and electronics, especially when we have, well, most of the electronics, all of the electronics actually right here on the table. Now the original one does come with locking tuners, and I went above and beyond the locking tuners that come on it, and we got some hip shot lockers, open gear lockers. That is right. We're not sparing any expense. Hip shot open gear tuners are going on this guitar. Why? Well, because these tuners, although we've had guitars that have come through here with Grover labeled tuners that may or may not be real. That's right. They're that close. They may or may not be real. And it's not hard for me to believe that they put real tuners on a Chinese guitar, to tell you the truth, because, well, a lot of Grovers are made in China. So that makes sense. Some aren't, some are. These are definitely not real Grovers. Why? The font is different and the plating is not so hot. Although, they probably serve the purpose. How do they hold? I don't know yet. but definitely getting replaced just on sheer aesthetics of it. And as you notice on the back, we have a volute. That's right, it's voluted neck. Got heel right here. Very cool. The finish, like I said, matte black. Very decent finish, although on the back here, there's something that's a little, I don't know if it's compound. Could be just compound in there somehow. It's a little bit, I feel like a little rough surface. I can't say it, but it feels like a rough surface. To look at it, it just appears to be like the rest of the guitar. The guitar is definitely CNC routed. There is no mistaking that. The routing is sheer perfection on this guitar, and it's routed out very, very nice. It looks to be a 3-piece body. Judging by the looks of it, we have a sandwich of mahogany in the middle, and like a lot of Gibsons, we have a cap on the back and a cap on the front. What are those caps? I don't know. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess they just capped it with more mahogany. The weight of this guitar, and we'll get that too right here. We'll weigh it real quick because everybody wants to know the weight. What's it weigh? Well, I don't know what the original one weighs. I don't think I do. I don't think that I do. But so far we're doing pretty good on matching the specs of the original. I think we're doing pretty good anyhow. But let's weigh this real quick. Usually I guess on this. This one I'm not going to guess. 7.89 pounds. We have 7.89 pounds of the guitar in its current form. It'll be interesting to see what it weighs after we get the EMGs and the other electronics in it. But that's where we're at on here. These are 10s that are on it, no doubt about that. And we are going to be running the factory strings that would come on it, which would be 10 to 46s guitar. So also very cool. Now let's get into the back here. Then we're going to rate this thing. Something I never did before. We're going to rate it and see where it falls. See, in my opinion, my humble opinion, where it falls. No, it doesn't have the metal Maltese cross on it, unfortunately. It doesn't, but they did a good job at a look, and it is in the matte finish, too. So it's not a decal that's going to peel off or anything like that. Very cool silhouette to this guitar, and I really kind of like that aged binding look. You can kind of feel a little ridge on the binding here, but it's an equal ridge all the way around it. So, but no feeling of ridges on the fretboard, which is good. So in back, we have a nicely done switch. Like I said, routed out, definitely mahogany. You can tell by the grain right away that it is mahogany. Routed out very well. We have just what I thought this was going to have, especially with low output pickups. Small pot, CF pots. I'm sure they work fine with the little green pills in there. So these will be getting removed, definitely getting removed. But there's definitely a cap on here, definitely a cap, and each of these, yeah, this is routed out rather strange, but very well. There's no extra screw holes like sometimes they miss and they redo them. I've seen a lot of Chibsons like that. Nothing like that. So we got a little rough spot right here. Not sure what it is. I'm sure I could take my buffer, even though I don't want to. I mean, it's nothing you probably really notice. I notice it because I'm looking for stuff, but you probably wouldn't. The neck, like I said, super fast. So that's this in a nutshell. So what do you guys think? Pretty cool, right? I mean, for $279, matching not electronic specs, but matching body specs of an original that costs a lot of money. What do I have and what am I going to have into this guitar? That's the question. We got $279, right? If you're going to pay for it, $279, unless you make an offer on it, get it cheaper. You might. Well, we got the tuners. They cost me for these ones. They're gold. I like gold. These are the gold tuners. Okay. They're open gear lockers, and I want to say they cost me with tax a little over $70. Okay. So you got to add that in there. I got the whole James Hetfield kit here, and I'm going to leave links to this and definitely in the description for you for the EMGs because they were an outstanding company to deal with. When I ordered these, they immediately messaged me and said, hey, do you need long shaft? Do you need short shaft? Are you sure you want this? Let's make sure the color's right before we ship it to you. And these things came from California to New York like a boom. We're there so fast. So I forget the name of the seller, but I'm going to put them in the link below. I'll put it on the screen right here. Shout out to them because that was a good way to do business. Very impressive, making sure that I got the right thing and what I asked for. Because most people don't order these pickups. I got the brushed black. look pickups to go in here. I guess they don't sell a lot of those, but that's what I wanted on this particular one, and there's a reason why that I'll show you in I'm looking at something in an upcoming episode. I will show you why I went with this instead of the gold. Anyhow, great company, and you get 3 packages of 3 sets of strings with it for free. And I believe, don't quote me, I want to say it was right around $250 for the pickups and all the wiring and everything. So we're at what? 4, 5, little 5. We're at about $600. And I ordered this switch from them that was about, so a little over $630. And the knobs, which honestly I had laying around already from a previous order, so that worked out fine. So I don't have nothing into that. If I do have to change the bridge, there's gonna be another, and tailpiece, there's gonna be another $100 right there if I do. So we're getting up there. I'm not lying, but I'm going with the best stuff I can go with. So keep that in mind. So if we can get this guitar playing like a $7,000 to $10,000 guitar for $700, right? Maybe less. Wow. I mean, wow. Regardless of what it says on the headstock, you guys haven't even seen that. Let's pretend it doesn't say anything on the headstock. Let's just pretend this is a guitar that has the James Hetfield vibe, and there's nothing on it that says anything anywhere. It's LS Custom Shop guitar. It's got the vibe. It's cool. Hey, man, I've had high-end Epiphones that aren't built this well. Body and aesthetics. Now, is it perfect? No, like I said, it's not perfect. There is a little itty-bitty, I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know what you'd call it. Almost like a little hole, like a pinprick, just above the bridge right here. You're never going to see it, and I'll give you some pictures of this in this video. But it looks almost so precise that it's intentional. For the love of me, I don't know how that would get there or why it would be there, but it's there. So strange. Now, does that make me take points away from it? Well, it has to in the grand scheme of things, the way you look at things. But overall, it's very, very nice. So let's rate this thing. And oh, by the way, we got to do action, right? I have a check, like I said, I have unboxed this already, so I've checked it, but I'm going to double check myself and make sure. So the action on this is set up at 1.75 at the low E, and I believe it was the same at the high E. Yes, 1.75 at the high E. So the action is set. There's no dead notes. I already went through it earlier. No dead, and I haven't tuned it up yet, but I'm saying there's no strings killing on another fret. So that's awesome. Frets do need to be polished. Fretboard does need to be cleaned, but, you know, that's fine. The neck, I have checked the neck, and actually where my tool is right now, but I have checked the neck. The neck is almost perfectly straight, but it's got a little bit of relief in it, like it should be for a properly set up guitar. I'm not going to rock the guitar right now. I do that a lot, and honestly, it's not the proper way to do it. What I need to do is have the strings off the guitar and the neck perfectly straight to check the frets, because that's the time I'd have to do fret work. But I'm guessing that they're going to be decent, but I can't really tell. I can get an idea, but I can't really tell you if they're perfect or not unless the strings are off and the neck's straight. I hope that makes sense to you. I see we all do that. We do that, and you guys love to see it being rocked. But honestly, I'm not being honest with you if I don't tell you those strings need to be off and that neck needs to be perfectly straight before I do any rocking of the neck and checking straightness or anything like that. See if or where the frets are going to rest, because you just don't know. That's the starting point. So pretty cool. Also, like I said, 12-inch radius. We will get a measurement at the 1st and at the 12th when we do the upgrades to this guitar. I hope you guys will watch that video of the upgrades to this guitar. We're going to dive into it. I'm going to take you through the entire process. So the setup rating, I mean, right now, I haven't played it, but I mean, as far as it's actually pretty close to in tune right now. It feels nice. So I'm going to give it a setup rating simply because it appears to be, you know, let's put our tuner on it and see real quick. Why don't we do that? And so why don't you put your money where your mouth is, Mike, and shut up. Here we go here. So let's, first of all, let's switch it off of bass. And I normally don't do this with it resting on a thing, but let's see how close we are. There's E. Well, she's out a little bit, but she's close. Tuners. Definitely need to change the tuners. Definitely need to change the tuners. So I think it was just slightly detuned for shipping. Yeah, it was a slight couple. It had like a turn and a half detuned on each one, unless the strings stretch. So E. Ooh, intonated. See that, guys? I don't know if you can see the. We're on. We're on. Whew, this is a strange one, guys. A is a touch off for intonation. Very close, though. I mean, I'm talking a touch off. And E's on. Intonated. For all, like, we're so close, I probably won't even, I mean, that's close. I've never had a guitar that was intonated that well from China. Very cool. So, setup, obviously setup. So, let's rate the setup on this. Is that cool? We have an intonated guitar out of the box. Times they are changing. I love saying that. Times they are changing, folks. So now we need to give this thing a rating. So let's do that. Let's rate this thing. So rating on setup. Now I'm going to rate this based on the fact that I haven't played this yet. So keep that in mind. But out of the box setup, we're going to give it 5 stars because it's checking all the boxes. I don't think there's going to... Running my fingers up and down this, which I've done earlier, and just hitting it... I didn't find any dead strings or frets that were killing anything. So I'm going to take it that everything's precise. It appears to be. So we'll give it 5 stars. Fit and finish. Very, very nice. But like I said, we got a small little... I don't know if you call it imperfection, or maybe the original one has one in there. I don't know. It's different. It's weird. I don't know what would cause it, but it looks... factory like it should be there. I don't know what it is, but it is a perfect pinhole. Weird. Very nice. There is some little small, like I said, we got something that's rough on the back. I don't know what that is, but overall, the guitar is a beautiful guitar. And honestly, I've seen high-end guitars that are way, way worse than this. But I'm going to give it 4 stars on that one. So 4 stars on fit and finish. It looks great. And I haven't taken this off yet. So if I take this off and it's got a logo, you know what, logo, then I might cut that back a star. But I'm going to take it that it's probably be okay, so we'll know. Sound. Well, we haven't got to that yet. We're going to. Right? This is an unboxing video on the initial appearance for this. When we come to the next video, we're going to get some sounds on this, and I apologize I'm not doing this, but this is meant to be informative about this particular guitar, and I want to take my time and be precise, and I hope you guys appreciate that. So I have the time to actually make it the best it can be, and what I mean by that is make sure it's in tune, the strings are stretched. I'm not going to change anything on the guitar, though, and you guys will hear this, and we're going to give you a before and after comparison when we do our upgrades, and that's why I'm not doing that. So that's a to be continued on that one, but the overall feel of the guitar, it feels fast and it feels awesome. It feels good, and the cut right here feels nice. It's got a great feel, and like I said, I went over all this before in the previous video that I messed up. So I'm going to give the feel of the guitar. Now listen, this could change also, but right now we're going to give it 5 stars and feel. And I don't even have good strings on it yet, and I haven't even polished the frets, but it still feels that good as far as moving on it and sliding around. The neck is what's doing it. It's that U-shaped, slim U neck. It's so cool. So cool. Love it. So that's what we're going to call it right there. Is this guitar worth $279? Of course. With no electronics in it, no nothing. No hardware on it whatsoever. No pickups, no strap buttons, no nothing. Just the body and the neck. It's worth that. To me. Might not be to you. And another thing we're going to talk about here too is the cavity covers. They're not junk. They're not like this willy-nilly cut cavity covers. They're actually super nice cut cavity covers that are beveled really nice, that look like something you'd find on an EMG. And they're not drilled all wonky, and they look made really well. This one has like circles around circles on the inside from where they like some kind of tooling on it, but it looks very precise, very nicely done. They fit the cavities super, super nice. So we're going to actives, guys. Keep in mind, those are active EMGs. Are you curious what it's going to sound like? Because I'm really, really curious. You guys tell me what you think about this James Hetfield. And it's a lot of information to take in. A lot. Tuners got to go. They got to go. You guys want to see the logo, don't you? You've been waiting, I promised you. Well, we have ESP on the back. It says ESP Custom Shop. We have a serial number that I have not looked up. I don't know what it is. Don't shoot the messenger. I ordered this as, I really don't care what you think anyhow, for all the naysayers out there. People who come to this channel come to see guitars like that, and that's what we do. But I didn't order this as a ESP. I ordered this as a unbranded guitar. I went off the information that they gave me. So let's peel off the logo, or the LS Custom Shop logo. I'm going to do this slow too, guys, because I don't want to ruin anything. And sometimes it got the sticky stuff on here is quite sticky. And I don't have any fingernails because, well, guitar players cut their fingernails. Okay, come on. Come on, Bessie. Okay. You ready, guys? So there is our famous LS. I'm going to start keeping these as badges of honor. LS Custom Shop. And then we pull that off. And there we go. We're going to say electronically sound precision. Best I can come up with at short notice. Very cool guitar. That truss rod cover is badass too. That Iron Cross truss rod cover. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Fulton Street Beats. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking that out. And if you could, hit that like button on your way out. Share, subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys back here when we test the sound of this thing compared to the upgraded version. And I got another special treat for you guys that you're not going to want to miss. Oh, maybe I've said too much already. You're going to want to see it. I promise you. It's the coolest. It's over here. The coolest thing, and we might compare the two. All right, we'll see you soon, guys. Remember, it's rock and roll. Makes the world do that spinny, twirly thing.